Hey ladies, it is Kristen and I am here for my 29-week update. First, I want to apologize because I didn't do a 28-week update. That's the first week that I've missed since I was 5 weeks pregnant. But last week was just really crazy and it wasn't really a very good week overall. and I was hoping to get the video in at the end of the week, and then we ended up having some tough days, and I just couldn't get it done. So it's kind of a bummer that I missed my 28-week update because, of course, I hit the third trimester and I didn't have an update. But it was just one of those weeks. So hopefully from here on out, I'll do a weekly update up until I have the baby. So I'm 29 weeks now. And let's see, I had several things I wanted to talk about. First, I did actually sit down and do up a baby registry. I just did it on Amazon. I still haven't decided. I think I mentioned with Sadie, I went to Grand Rapids, which is the closest big city to us. It's like a 2-hour drive, and did baby registries at Babies R Us and Bye Bye Baby and everything just for fun. I just went myself and I had lunch at one of the restaurants there and just visited the baby stores and walked around and, pretended to be a first-time mom so people would, ooh and ah over me. Anyways, I don't know if I'll do that this time or not. I think I'll see the energy I have, and also when I'm off call for births, that'll make a difference too. I don't know when that's going to be. I've said that I'll be there. Sorry, ladies, I just want to adjust that a little bit. Okay. I've said that I will be there for one mom who's due in August. So depending on when she has her baby and how I feel after that is probably what I'll decide. But I did want to put together a little baby registry just because I like looking at baby stuff. I think that babies are really minimalist creatures. You don't need a lot of stuff for them, but I think that it's fun anyways. So I put together a little registry on Amazon. I can link to that below the video in case you're interested in seeing, what does somebody who's on baby number 8 put in their registry. And it's just mostly fun stuff. There's no cribs or furniture or anything. There is a little portable play yard, like a really portable one that I was thinking might be nice to have if I take the babies to births, but I think that was the only big thing, other than maybe a video baby monitor, which is kind of like fluff, but might be kind of cool to have. So anyways, I'll put that there so y'all can see that. I think it's a lot of clothes and stuff, but otherwise not too much in the way of actual baby gear. It's just fun to see what the baby gear scene looks like. Burp cloths, maybe some muslin swaddle blankets and that sort of thing whenever I'm pregnant with a new baby. So I did that. I had a prenatal appointment yesterday, and that went really well. So that was, I was 29 weeks yesterday, so that was a 29-week appointment. And my next appointment's going to be in 3 weeks, so that will get us back to being on even weeks. So I'll be 32 weeks for that appointment, and then I'll have appointments every 2 weeks. So I'll have that appointment. The 34-week appointment will be in the office, and then the 36-week appointment will most likely be here at my house because that's supposed to be the home visit. And then I guess weekly from there on out. So I'll be 37, 38, 39, 40. And 41 if baby goes past. Then my last few babies have come pretty close to their due date, so that's what I think this baby will do, but I'm not certain. So anyways, that's how my appointments will go. So I'm moving to the every couple of week appointments now. We just decided to go 3 weeks on this one. First of all, I'm in the office all the time anyways because I'm a student midwife, but also because I kind of wanted to get back to those even weeks, which we'd gotten off of because I had to skip a week for Passover. But anyways, so my appointment went really well. Baby is head down. My midwife was pretty sure that the baby was head down at my last appointment. I've been working on, I have a harder time feeling the baby's head when the baby's on me because it's much harder to kind of cup your fingers around the baby's head when you're trying to feel on yourself. But I've gotten better at it, and I've been pretty certain that the baby has been head down. And yesterday, my midwife was sure that the baby is head down. So hopefully baby will decide to, just stay that way. Baby's back was on this side. So on this side, if any of y'all saw, I finally got my baby position article out. I don't remember if I mentioned that in the last one or not. It's at naturalbirthandbabycare.com/baby-position. And so that means that baby's back is on the right. So my baby is you know, ROA, right occiput anterior, or maybe ROT. And so ideally I want baby to swap around to the left side before birth, but I'm not too worried about it because I feel like the baby's still back and forth a whole lot. I just really want that little head to stay down. And as the baby gets bigger, my babies have always tended, I think, to kind of favor the right side early on, but I've never had any back labor or anything like that. So I think they pretty much flip once they get close to labor. And I'm certain that Sadie did last time, flip to the LOA position before birth. So I think this baby will too. Baby's heart rate was in the 140s, which is really good. One cool thing this time around is I've been listening to baby with the fetoscope once. I try and feel, I don't do it every night because I'm just sometimes tired, but most nights I like to feel, you know, what position is my baby in. And then I'll listen with the fetoscope based upon where I feel the baby's back, because that's the best place to get the baby's heartbeat. And since I've been practicing on so many newborns and listening to unborn babies' heart rates in the office as a student, I'm able to count the baby's heart rate a lot better. I couldn't ever count Sadie's just because I wasn't practiced, but I've had a lot more practice because their heart rate's really fast. 140 beats per minute is a really fast heart rate to count. But I'm getting better at it. So that's kind of where this baby likes to hang out at, is in the 140s. So I like that you know, there's some variability. Like as Kathy, that's my midwife, was finishing up listening to the baby yesterday, she was listening with the fetoscope and she was just kind of pushing 2 on the baby, and the baby's heart rate started speeding up a little bit. Babies respond to stimulation, so if the baby's sleeping, their heart rate will be lower. If you poke at them and get them moving, their heart rate comes up. And that's a good thing. You want to see that variability in your baby's heart rate. So anyways, I think I'm measuring 2 weeks ahead. So I'm measuring like at 31 weeks, which I don't feel is too surprising at all. It's not like enough ahead to be worried about twins or anything. It's just, this is baby number 8. And I've been consistently measuring 2 weeks ahead. So, you know, I'm not surprised by that. My weight gain was 6 pounds, which made me happy because I feel like, you know, oh my gosh, how much more weight can I gain? And I've talked about this before. The weight gain is a real challenge for me, especially because I teach ladies about good pregnancy nutrition and not to worry about weight gain. But when it's you and the scale is going up, and especially because I have this reference point in my mind for when I was pregnant 16 years ago, you know, I gained, I don't know, maybe 25 pounds, maybe 30 pounds, and then I had my baby and it was all gone the next day. And now that's not the case. So I'm at like a 40-some pound weight gain overall, which is, I mean, that's difficult for me. And I'll show you my belly at the end, and I feel like it's not in my belly. I feel like it's all that weight is like in my thighs and in my bum, and it's like, why? Why does it all have to be there? But I told my midwife yesterday, at least when I'm running around to births, when I go back to being on call after the baby's born, you know, when I'm running around to births with a baby strapped to my back and nursing and trying to do births in the middle of the night, and, you know, sometimes eating is erratic when you're at births because you have to, you know, you pay attention to the laboring mom. At least I have some stores to sustain me through that. And I've always been able to take the weight off. The last 10 pounds is always pretty difficult for me, but it's always been able to come off. It may be when my baby's a year old or 15 months old, but I've always been able to get it to come off. So it's not fun, but it is what it is. So, and I share with you just because, you know, just because I know that it's something that women think about. And that's what I think about. But I know overall I'm eating healthy. I feel like I'm doing really well with eating well, getting what I need on most days. Sometimes I forget about my morning snacks, so I should probably set a morning snack alarm. I am back to being able to get up earlier. I think I was able to a couple weeks ago when I did the last update. And that's really nice because I'm getting up earlier. I'm able to have my quiet time and then get the kids up, but still get them up early enough that their breakfast is done at a decent time. And Scott makes breakfast for he and I. I guess that would be for he and me. Scott makes breakfast for he and me. And so it's not, we were having breakfast at like 9:30 or 10 in the morning, which is just too late for me to feel like I can fit a snack between breakfast and lunch. But now we're eating breakfast more at like 7:30, so I can have a snack at like 10:30 or 10 and then have lunch at noon or 12:30, which is when we tend to have lunch. So that's better. I just still sometimes forget it. But I'm doing pretty well with eating. I feel really good. I've had heartburn come up a few more times lately, but it's not bad. The other thing you might notice, I've got my rings on my necklace right now. If you look at my hands, I don't feel like they look swollen at all, but I mean, you can actually see where my rings go on this finger just because I always have them on. But there's like just enough swelling that they're uncomfortable, and it was really bothering me the other day. So I just hung them on my necklace. I don't know if it's been because of the heat. It's been really hot here. It's cooler today, but you know, I don't know if that's why. But there's just been just that enough to make the rings feel uncomfortably tight. So I decided to take them off. And like my feet at the end of the day, there will be like a little bit of swelling. But like right now, I'm not going to show you all my feet because they're dirty. But right now, you know, there's no swelling at all. So I really haven't had any swelling. But in my fingers, it's been just enough. And like I said, I don't know if it's because of the heat or what, but it's uncomfortable, and it was just easier to put them up here and not worry like, is there gonna be more swelling, then I can't get my rings off. So it feels a little bit of a bummer to me. I had to take my rings off in my very first pregnancy with Cassidy, but not in any other pregnancy. So it's, you know, I have to take them off this one, but it's no big deal. Other pregnancy signs, I've noticed a lot of downward pressure, but I only notice it when I'm going to the bathroom, like when I'm sitting on the toilet. So I think it may just be varicosity issues. So there's not really anything I'm going to do about it. Like when we take walks, I don't notice it very much, so it's not like it's bothering me. In my pregnancy with Sadie, it bothered me a lot when I was taking walks, that downward pressure, just because there's so much extra blood and stuff down there, and there can be varicosities. I haven't ever had varicose veins in my legs, but I think there's definitely some vulvar varicosities in there. So it is what it is. It's not seriously uncomfortable on the toilet. I just notice it, and it does kind of feel like, you know, the baby's head is really pressing down, but the baby's still really high. And I've actually had that happen since like about this point in my second pregnancy. So I think it's just the way my body and my pelvic floor respond to pregnancy. If it gets to be a problem on walks, I'll probably, you know, do some sort of support there. One thing I have noticed on walks, not every walk, but on a couple of walks, is sometimes my belly just feels really heavy. There was a day that Scott and I were walking, and we had decided to walk a full mile, which our trail is a half mile. So when we came back by the house, I actually came in and put on my prenatal cradle, my pregnancy support garment, because my belly just felt so heavy and it was really bothering me on the walk. But that hasn't really happened much since then, so I don't know if it was just that day. I haven't really been wearing the prenatal cradle because I really haven't had much of the pain that I've had in previous pregnancies. In the morning when I first get out of bed, I'm kind of stiff, even though I'm sleeping with the body pillow, which you can see up there on the bookshelf. I'm kind of stiff, but it's not bad. Once I've been up for a little bit in the morning, it definitely gets a lot better. So as far as pregnancy symptoms and things, those are the only things really, is that downward pressure when I'm on the toilet, which I think is just because of the way you are when you're on the toilet. And little things here and there, heartburn here and there, like that, just feeling like my belly's really heavy here and there, a little bit of stiffness in the mornings. But overall, really, I feel very good. And like I shared before, I've been practicing trying to be thankful and gratitude and everything, and it's not easy all the time. Like I said, last week was really hard. There were some really like whammy situations, like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to see the good in this situation? But overall, I've really been trying. We've had a lot of unusual issues occurring with clients and babies lately, and that's, my midwife actually asked me yesterday, you know, is that impacting you? Like one baby who's a few months old now, I was at the baby's birth, has had a diagnosis that, you know, is pretty scary diagnosis for the family. And it's just, you know, it's one of those things that you would never think would be diagnosed with a baby. So that was weird. And then we've had a couple of babies with irregular heartbeats that have ended up being fine, but that's still, it's still something that weighs on your mind. And we've had a couple moms who have had health issues that could possibly impact their babies, and, making decisions for them and helping them make the right decision for them. And so it's been a lot, most of the time, like, in my apprenticeship so far, everything has been pretty straightforward. And then it feels like we've just had like a few unusual situations. And that's something that I've definitely been thinking of. A difference between now and, I mean, even like my first 3 pregnancies were pretty carefree. I didn't really worry about the baby or anything like that. By the time I had Galen, my 4th, I started early. So by the time I had Galen, a lot more of my friends were having babies. And so I had heard about more losses and things like that. And I thought more about that. And then as I've gotten further into my midwifery studies, because in midwifery you learn about the normal, but you need to be intimately familiar with the normal, but you also need to understand what is abnormal and when, you need to transfer or consult a physician or something. And so that's just, those things are in my mind too. Whereas all of that I was kind of, blissfully ignorant to before. So I think about those things too, and they come up here and there, but overall I still feel really good. One of the things that's been cool to me is seeing the faith that our clients have had when they're in tough situations. And certainly some families have that more than others. And when I say faith, I don't even necessarily mean like very religious, though if the family is religious, they often seem maybe not to have an easier time, but there's definitely something that's helping them through that sometimes families with faith don't have. But even the families who aren't particularly coming from a faith-based background I've seen them make some really strong choices and just stand really confident in loving their baby and being trusting. And that's a really powerful thing to see too. So it's very interesting going through a pregnancy, walking through a pregnancy, and working in working in a home birth practice and seeing that kind of thing. And especially seeing, like we've seen, like I said, a lot of cases we had, just months and months and months of everything smoothly, and then kind of this cluster of different situations with the moms of the babies. So anyways, we haven't had any births lately. We've had like 3 weeks without a birth now, I think. And that's pretty unusual. There's 3 moms who I'm on call for, who I'm expecting to get called for, all 3 of them pretty much any time. I really hope that they birth in like the next 3 weeks, because then for about 4 weeks from now we have fair. So my kids are really big into 4-H, and we don't have a camper for fair, which is a real bummer. We couldn't find anyone to lend us one this year. We were able to use a borrowed one last year. So we can't camp at the fairgrounds, that's tough, because it's when you have to be at the fairgrounds all day long. But in the morning somebody has an event, in the afternoon somebody has an event, and early in the morning you have to take care of the animals. Later in the evening you have to take care of the animals. So there's these things all staggered throughout the day, every day for the whole week. But it's nice to have that camper there, because then you have a home base, even if it's not the most comfortable to sleep in, and it's, oh my gosh, the campground's so noisy. But having that home base to be able to go back to with little ones is really nice. But basically, I'm just going to have to get the lawn tractor, and that's going to have to be our home base. Find a shady spot. There's water everywhere at the fairgrounds, which is really good. And, that shady spot will have to be our home base, and I'll have to pack lunches and snacks and things for every day. We did it the year before last and survived. I wasn't 33 weeks pregnant, but, again, it is what it is. I'm excited to see the kids doing what they need to do up there, and especially my little ones. So, I'm proud of the big ones too, but the little ones, I invest a bit more into it. The big ones, it's like, y'all need to do this. But, it's wonderful to see all the kids, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I've lost a little bit of momentum with nesting, but overall, still going very well, getting the house organized. I might try and work on that more over the next week. I think I don't have to go into the office next week to do prenatals for other moms, because our primary midwife's going to be out of town. and I usually work on one of her days. So I think usually I'll go in with the other midwife in the practice on a week like that, but I think I'm going to take the week off just because sometimes I need time off, and I'll probably have a couple of births too. So maybe get some more organization done then and talk to y'all about it. But I'll go ahead and show you my belly now, which I feel like it's, you know, it's looking pretty cute right now, but it's definitely sticking out there. So I'll show you my belly, and then I will talk to you guys next week. So let's see. So this is a, sorry, I got a stain or something on my shirt there. But there's the belly. So this is 29-week belly, really almost 30-week belly. So sticking out there, I can like kind of suck it in, but not too much. Let me show you the belly without the shirt. I think it's still a nice looking belly. My belly is pretty much all baby. Like I said, I feel like all the weight is here and here, because this is like baby. And my midwife told me yesterday, you know, just expect a big baby again, Kristen, because my babies have all been, Sadie was 9 pounds, and my, you know, the ones before her were almost 9 pounds. So just expect a big baby. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting, is a nice chunk. But yeah, so I will talk to you ladies next week and keep you updated on how everything's going, getting ready for fair, and how I'm feeling. And I hope that you have a blessed week. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions or what's going on with your pregnancy. I'm happy to answer them, and I'll talk to you soon.